Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time, multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need. Okay, let's talk about that feeling, that sinking feeling in your stomach when you just know a deadline is about to be missed. Most of us see that as, just pure failure. But today we're digging into a LaborSync blog article that says, no, that's completely wrong. It argues that those moments are actually your best opportunities for growth.
Exactly. And this isn't some, positive thinking exercise. It's a strategic response. What the article shows is how the really successful companies turn their biggest deadline disasters into, well, moments of real strength. They treat the failure like data. It's an audit.
I like that framing. A strategic response. So where do you start? The article's first point is mastering what it calls the art of the early warning. And it's really specific. It says you have to get on a phone call the second you even suspect there's a problem. No email. That sounds absolutely terrifying. Why a phone call?
Because you have to own the narrative immediately. If you get ahead of it, you're in charge of the solution before the client even knows there's a problem. It's radical transparency.
And that separates you from the people who just disappear.
Right, the ones who go dark. When you call, you don't just present the problem. That's key. You say, here's the issue and here are the options to fix it. You immediately become the solution-oriented professional, not the person who messed up.
Okay, so that phone call buys you trust. It buys you time.
Yeah.
But time for what?
Time to turn the crisis into what the article calls a learning lab.
A learning lab.
Yeah. That missed deadline is essentially a free audit of your business. It's showing you exactly where your systems are breaking down. Is it time tracking?
That's estimation.
Resource planning.
All of it. The article gives this great concrete example of a landscaping company. They missed a huge commercial deadline because they had, well, basically zero idea what their crews were actually doing in the field.
It was a total black box. A total black box. And it was a painful, expensive mess. But that single failure forced them to implement real systematic time tracking. They did a post-mortem, not to place blame, but to figure out the process gaps.
And what happened? What was the result of that forced audit?
It was staggering. They saw a 40% increase in their project completion rate within 6 months.
Wow, 40%.
It's huge. And, it wasn't just the software. The tool gave them the data, but the learning lab mindset gave them the new processes to use that data effectively.
That makes sense. So you're fixing the weak link, and in doing so, you're actually building a strength that your competitors probably still struggle with.
Exactly. And that's where we get into this idea of building anti-fragile system.
Anti-fragile, so not just resilient.
Right. Resilience is bouncing back to where you were. Anti-fragility means the system gets stronger because of the stress. Think of it like a vaccine for your business operations. The stressor actually improves your capability permanently.
So how does a business owner actually do that? What are the practical steps to build that kind of system?
It really comes down to having data you can trust. You have to move away from things like, paper timesheets or managing projects over text messages. The solutions in the article are all about modern visibility tools. Things like GPS-enabled time tracking for remote crews.
So you always know where your team is and what they're working on.
Precisely. Or automated reports that flag delays early. You build that robustness into the system so when a stressor hits, you have perfect information to guide you.
And this all comes full circle, back to that initial transparency. That becomes, as the article calls it, marketing gold.
It really does, because when you handle a crisis that well and you're open about how you fix the underlying issue, you demonstrate incredible accountability. Clients don't actually expect perfection. What they want is a partner they can count on when things get complicated.
So I guess the ultimate competitive advantage isn't about never failing. It's about proving you can handle failure so well that clients trust you more because of it. They'll give you the bigger, higher value projects.
And that leaves a big question for everyone listening. Are your current challenges just setbacks? Or are they the free data you need to build a stronger, anti-fragile business?
This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.